let's try this again for a second time. Thought I had pressed record the first time and had not. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Doing a little hobby update here on what I've been working on over the past couple of weeks, as it's been about that long since I've uploaded just a regular hobby video. The models you see in front of you, the 10 models, is what I've gotten done over that time, not including my Teutonic Knights, which I've shown in a separate video. Sorry, forgive me, I'm just a little aggravated. I thought I had recorded that video, or this video already, and finding out I haven't is aggravating, but hey, life of a YouTuber, I guess. But anyways, first two models I'm going to show are these spiders for Frostgrave. Really happy with the way they turned out. They're three basic colors: Rattling Grime for the skin, Blood Angels Red for the eyes, and Aggaros Dunes for the fangs. And that's it. But yeah, like I said, they're for Frostgrave. Really happy with them. And can't wait to use them. I need to get more games of Frostgrave in. And by more, I mean just some. I haven't played, I don't think I've played any second edition games. And, which is sad, because I really like the first edition. And I've got the second edition rulebook. Freaking fly. Up next is some stuff related to that Barrens War Teutonic Knights set. With these guys, this is a lord that I'm going to use, a crusading lord. The Teutonic Knights would have people come from all over Europe during the campaigning seasons to join along in campaigns. That way they didn't have, but they wouldn't officially join the order as a full brother or half brother, or as a sergeant or anything like that. They would just show up with their retinues or a small army or whatever, however you want to phrase it, and they would campaign with the Teutonic Knights for a season or two and then go back home. And that's what they did. So that's what this guy represents. He's my lord, because I don't know if you can have two barons on the table at the same time in the Barrens War. But I know you can have a baron and a lord, and the baron is the higher rated commander, and that's who's going to be leading my Teutonic Knights, which I'll talk about more in a moment. Here's the banner bearer with the hockey mask style helmet from Mad Max Road Warrior, which I think is really cool. These guys, like my Teutonic Knights, I didn't do any highlights to the chainmail. Once I painted it, put a wash over it of Nuln Oil, that was it, because I wanted the chainmail to look a little more oily, and I want the other colors to stick out. Now, I did highlight like the weapon and belt buckles and helmet. Those got a highlight, but yeah, here's the bannerman. The banner I did with a gloss varnish. The shields for the transfers I'm speaking of, I did with a matte varnish. Matte varnish is on this masking tape. Pretty sure that's what it is, or painter's tape, which may be the same thing. When I used a matte varnish on it, it just looks foggy, like I've sprayed it with a varnish, and the temperature of the can wasn't right, and how your models will come out foggy or misty or whatever. So I went over it with a gloss varnish, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. Then here's just a household knight with more of an Eastern style, pretty sure anyways, more of an Eastern style helm. I'm not an expert on armor or helmets or anything like that, but I believe these are more Eastern style, like Eastern European, Eastern Roman Empire or Byzantine Empire, whichever you want to call it, style helmet. So maybe this is an Eastern lord who's come up to campaign for the season or two. And yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the way they came out. I've got 3 more being knights in this full chainmail being painted up, because the ones with tabards I'm using for my Teutonic Knights, because I want to show off that cross and everything in the white. So yeah, that's those 3. And then next, I did these guys. These are, I believe they're all 100 Years of War models from Perry's, from the Perry's. Just different sets. This guy I did as like the Lord or the Knight who's brought along some men-at-arms and archers to the mustering. And I've done their get up, or their colors, in this black and tan color. Black Templar contrast paint for the black, Carrick Stone for the tan color, and then a wash them on oil. Here's this guy. You'll see it better in the back. Quartered black and bone or tan color, bone or tan, either way. It's relatively the same. Then these two archers, if I can hold on to them. This guy's also quartered. This guy, his socks or whatever these are that are below the exposed upper leg are black, and then his hood is that tan color. Yeah, real simple, basic models, but I'm happy with the way they came out. These are to be used are going in the collection of the Barons War Game of Thrones models that I've painted up, which I've painted up a bunch of them. That group is becoming more of a collection, more so than gaming pieces at the moment. That could change. I've played 6 games of the Barons War now, and yeah, I could easily, transplant these plated and partially plated models into the Barons War, which doesn't have any rules for plate armor. That could be easily done. And I've painted up enough of them. I've got enough lords and stuff and everything, and even kings that I've painted up that I could play that as Game of Thrones Barons War. But yeah, for some reason, I don't know, in my mind, they're becoming more of a collection of gaming pieces. I painted up the sergeants and the peasants from War Games Atlantic with it in mind, using them in the Barons War Game of Thrones version. But I've also gotten more sprues of these 100 Years of War and War of the Roses kits that I could easily do that, and those models be just for that. Well, then I've got these 30 sergeants and 30 peasants that I've painted up that the basing is this basing and not this basing or my other my other Barons War basing. So I don't really know what I want to do with that, with them specifically, because I've got some Normans from Victrix that could be used as sergeants, just because they're less armored and everything. So like there's a differentiation between the more fully armored guys in plate and then guys just in like chainmail with helmets. So I'm thinking about more so wanting to use these up for the Here Comes the Ruckus, which uses the Nevermind the Billhooks rules, but it's a skirmish level game. I've seen it played some on YouTube, and heard it talked about a decent amount, and it seems really interesting and could be really easy to get into, because I've got these models painted up. So don't really know, not sure yet. We'll see in the future where that goes, but I'm perfectly happy with them being gaming pieces. I have no problem with that. Or not gaming pieces, collection pieces. I have no problem with that. You can only play so many games at a time, over the course of the years and everything. So I mean, if all they ever are is just nice pieces to sit on my shelf or to set in a box, I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. No qualms. Yeah, so anyways, some stuff I've been working on, I'm going to show you guys that, is more Teutonic Knights. Here's these two dudes. I haven't started on the white yet. I'm working on the metallics. But, and you can see I've worked on some of the sheaths and the padded armor and stuff. Getting that painted up, in the skin colors. a couple other models were more skins exposed. Problem I've got right now with the other Teutonic Knights that I've painted, and then these guys that I'm painting up, I don't have any that are like distinguishably, that's a Baron, or that's a Lord, or that's a, what are they called? I guess a Sergeant at Arms, which I don't have any sergeants at the moment to distinguish that. Like, this guy, I could say is one of, you know, a Baron or a Lord. He's holding a severed head, so he sticks out. But if I've got this guy included in that same unit, this guy's wielding a two-handed axe, and the looks of the models are pretty equivalent as far as, like, well, which one's, if it's my opponent's looking at it, which one's the Baron, which one's not. So I'm going to take another sprue of these miniatures, and I'm going to do them up with the Fantasy Cloaks and Shields set and Helm set from Victrix, just so I can do some up that stick out and look like Barons and Lords. I'm going to do probably one foot Baron, or one Baron on foot, one Lord on foot, and then one each mounted. Just so I can say, hey, these guys with the capes, these guys that are a little more done up, a little more flashy, are my Barons and Lords, so they stick out. Because, and I may still do this, maybe. I could look for special character models out there of Teutonic Knights and get them, and then have them. But then I have to, I run into that issue of maybe the scale's not the same. Because these Victrix models, compared to like War Games Atlantic or the Perrys, they're a little thicker, a little bulkier. Let me show you. Like, just these two guys. Like, this guy's thicker in the chest and legs and head. And that could just also be how the helmet looks. That's throwing off the size of the head. But even like the hands, like this guy's, he's just bulkier and thicker. So I could run into that issue of a non-Victrix model being used and they just don't fit in good. And I don't want that to be the case. Normally I wouldn't care. Would not care at all. Like with these, with the Game of Thrones stuff, I've got Perry's and War Games Atlantic and Victrix stuff that I'm mixing in, and I do not care that they don't all match up. And like my regular Barons of War stuff, I've got Victrix, and I've got Footsore metals, and I've got Footsore plastics, and they don't all match up. Again, I don't care. But for whatever reason, with the Teutonic Knight stuff, I want it all to be the same, if possible. So I'm hoping with the cloaks and shield set, I can get some distinguishable looking characters out of that. Because like a bannerman has a banner. You can tell what he's supposed to be. A musician has a horn. You can tell. But I don't have, there's not a command sprue that comes with this Victrix kit like there is for other ones, because it's just knights to be painted up however and done up however. So yeah, I plan on building them probably this week or next week, just so I can start painting them and have them done up. But that's it from me, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you've gotten along this far, listening to me just babbling on and rambling on. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel grow, helps the algorithm see, like, oh, people are watching these videos, we should get it out to more people for them to watch. When you like, comment, subscribe, and even share the video, helps the algorithm see that. And I would like more people to see these videos. I'd like to see the channel grow. We're at 82 subscribers. I'd love to be at 100, and with the way my channel has grown, a reasonable expectation is probably in the next 3, maybe 4 months. Because I don't get a ton of views, I don't get a ton of likes, but I'm consistent on what I do get, so I'm hoping we can grow some more and hit that 100 subscriber mark. I'd really like to see that soon. And whenever you subscribe, hit the bell icon and select all instead of personalized, so that way every time I upload a video you get a notification. So That'd be really cool. I appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you had a good one, and I'll be sure to catch you on the next one.